All right, guys, make sure I can see myself in here. I'm at Brigida and Jason Linford's house, just finishing up my Build Arms workout with Body Beast on my second round. Feeling absolutely awesome. But I want to talk to you guys about something that I do. Perhaps you see me getting these great results, and I want you guys to know that I stay pretty much 90% dialed in on my nutrition. I make mistakes, yes, but I always come back strong. But one of the things that I notice that I always do, and it's like if you're a part of our team and you get the weekly email from me, it says, in quotes, it's my quote that I claimed back in 2010 when I started my journey, which was do more than expected, get better than expected results. So I want to kind of give you guys a glimpse. I'm on my last rep of the day for my Body Beast workout, so I want to show you guys what I do to do more than expected, and then chat with you guys a little bit about how that can apply to any area of your life, of being a father, a mother, a business owner, your transformation, whatever it is, the concept of doing more than expected and getting better than expected results. So at the end of my workout, the move that I have to do is chair dips, which are, I'll basically show it to you if you don't know what chair dips are. I'm doing it on this bench here. You basically, it's a tricep workout. You extend your legs, and you drop down, and you come up. So like this, right? So that's what I'm expected to do as part of the routine. Now, if you're trying to gain more muscle or get stronger, it's important that you always challenge yourself. So if you're doing a 90-day program and you're doing that every time, you're not really challenging yourself. Once you can get to, let's say you're supposed to do 15, and you can do 15. Or you're supposed to do it for a minute, and you can do it for a minute. What most people do and what I see is they just do that. Do exactly what they're expected to do. But if you want to grow and get stronger, you got to challenge yourself. So what I'm doing, I was doing overhead tricep extensions with this bar right here. So I don't even know how much weight I have under here, 20, 50, so it's about 55 pounds. So what I do to do more than expected, then we'll chat about it where I can see comments. If you're hopping on here, let me know who's on here so I can know who I'm talking with when I get done with this. But I'll show you guys my last rep of the day. So I come up as if I'm doing chair dips. I take these 50 pounds here. At my house, I use my power blocks, but I'm on vacation and this is what they have, so I'm using this. So I'm gonna balance it up here on my hip flexors. And it's gonna be a little bit harder than mine at home because I gotta make sure it's balanced. What it's also gonna do is gonna help me balance work on my core a little more too, to keep it balanced. But I extend my legs, and I'm gonna do 15, for example. So I go down, up, down, up, and extend on the top. It's rolling around, so I gotta be careful and slow. Easy. And set this down. Okay, I'm going to set this up so I can chat with you guys. And I'm glad I didn't sit on it and fall like that. So, let's see if this can balance right here. So here we are. See you guys on here. Kevin, thank you, man. So that's like 55 pounds, for example. So, guys, it's easy in your transformation to just do what you're asked or what it says. But if you want to grow and get stronger and challenge yourself, you've got to up your weights. And one thing, this is my personal opinion. So when I'm doing my Body Beast, let's say I'm doing arm day, because today's arm day. So what I do on arm day, for example, is I want to get stronger, right? So I've seen in my past where you get stuck at like, let's say my curls, you do 15 reps at a heavy weight. We'll start at the lightweight. Let's say I do 35 at the lightweight, 16 reps, and then I do 40 at the medium rep of 12 reps, and then I do 45 at 8 reps. That's about what I do right now. And I do that for a month, and I'm not growing, I'm not getting stronger to be able to do more. So what I do at that point, guys, is a lot of times we think we gotta be exactly, we gotta hit the 16 reps, we gotta hit the 12, we gotta hit the 8. What I'll do is I'll do the 16, let's say I'll do the 16 at 35. I'll move to 40, do the 12 reps, And if like 45 is my max, right, and I can do 8 there, what I'll do is I'll bump it up to 50, and then I don't have to hit 8, I'll do 3. As long as it's good form, I'll do as much as I can, even if it's 1 or 2. And that way I'm growing, I'm getting stronger and doing a little bit more. So then I'll focus on that 50 pound, for example, even if I can do 2 instead of 8. And the next week I do 3. Next week I'm back to 2. Next week I do 4. And I'll go all the way until I can hit 8. And then I'll stay at that for like 2 weeks, so I can hit 8 every time. And then when I come back, the next time I do it, I'm gonna try to bump everything up. So I'll do a 40, I'll do a 45, and then I'll attempt a 55, even if it's for 1 rep with good form, or 2 reps with good form. That's how you slowly grow and you slowly get stronger, instead of just doing the same thing over and over and saying, this is all I can do. So someone asked on here, that has, I don't know what that bar weighs. I don't have that bar. It's the Les Mills Combat bar. I'm assuming it's like 5 pounds maybe. And then I got 2 10s on each side of 5, so 50 pounds, 55 pounds maybe. So like I can easily now do chair dips. I can do 40 in a row. You know, so if I'm supposed to do a minute, I'm not going to just do the same thing because I'm not growing, I'm not challenging myself. So if I want to grow or get bigger triceps, let's say, I'm going to, got to flex the tricep. If I want to get bigger triceps, I'm going to add weight or add resistance and make it harder. So that's what you guys saw me do at the end of the rep. I put a 50 pound on. So you guys saw I did 15 and I didn't struggle that bad. So that way, or 50 pounds, I did 15 reps. So next week, I'm going to need to do 60 or 65 pounds on there to be able to grow. Same thing goes with my pull-ups. When I'm doing my pull-ups, and when I'm at my house, I have a weight vest. So I do my pull-ups with a weight vest. Instead of just doing 15, I'm doing it with a weight vest. Even if I can only do 8, right? Or 10 when I'm supposed to do 15, I'm challenging myself and doing something harder. That's how you're going to get stronger and grow if your goal is to get stronger and grow as a guy. Same thing with the girls. But so now how can you apply that to your let's say you're a business. Let's say you're an entrepreneur and you're growing a business. The same thing applies. Like if you want to get better results than you have been getting in the past, or you want to do as much as somebody else is doing, right? You can't judge yourself against somebody else. But let's say you want to raise your standard. You want to do more than you've done the past year. Do more than expected. Like if it's expected in the game plan or the 4 vital behaviors of a Beachbody coach to improve the product's work, do your personal development, and invite. Let's say that's it, right? So let's say you're like 2 people a day, right? That's the standard. So if that's the standard, and you're not impressed with the results that you're getting, then do more than expected, and then get better than expected results. So, guys, when I started my journey, they said do 15 minutes a day of personal development, and they said hit Success Club 5, and they said invite 2 people a day. What I did was I listened to 8 hours a day of personal development. I did 10 invites a day. And I worked hard on my transformation, applying the same philosophy to my transformation. So extra personal development times like 100, working harder on my transformation, adding more weight, adding more resistance, challenging myself, doing more than I thought was possible. And then inviting people, they said invite 2 people a day. I invited 10 people a day because I wanted better than expected results. I wanted more than just doing Success Club 5. I wanted to do Success Club 10 plus so I could become an elite coach. Now elite is, it's called elite for a reason, to be the top select few elite. So to do that, you have to do more than everybody else. You have to grow your mind more. You have to work harder on your transformation, and you got to work harder on your leadership skills and growing yourself. So that's my challenge to you guys, is that if you're not happy with your results, do more than you're expected. And the same thing will apply. Luckily, I've had that philosophy from my mom and dad growing up. At my job, prior to Beachbody, I've been a full-time Beachbody coach now for 4 years without a job. I'm doing Beachbody career for my sole income. Also, you guys know that my parents work for us as well, and I have another assistant as well. So I have 3 people that work for us and help us, and we've done this for 4 years. So I've always done more than expected, more than asked in my career and with Beachbody. So with that being said, guys, like if you're in your, let's say, in your team page, don't wait for somebody to ask you to present on a team call. Like ask and say, hey, I need to grow, I need to do more than I expected myself and what's expected. I want to present. I want to teach, I want to grow. So get out there, do more than expected, and I guarantee you're going to get more than expected results. But like I was saying before, I grew up like that. Like before Beachbody, I was working as a dental lab technician. That career kind of phased out to machines, and then I had to take the only job I could get, and I took a job sweeping floors in a factory. And guys, most people that were the sweepers of the floors, they had their assigned area of the shop, and they swept their floor in the 8 hours. Guys, I swept my floor, my section, in 2 hours, and then went and asked, what else can I do? Who else can I help? Is there something I can help with? And I began doing more. I began taking out the garbage. I began going over to the welders that were building the machines and saying, hey, I'm done with my job, can I help you gather up some stuff? Can I help you hold pieces? Can I grind the metal for you weld and I'll grind the metal? Or I'll polish the metal for you. So I was always doing it. I was not paid to do that. I was not asked to do that, but I just did that. And there came a time, and I want you guys to understand this, like the guys that cut the machine, like cut the metal for these welders, the lasers and water jet, they cut with water and sand. I would go over and help them lay out the metal. I would ask, like, okay, how does this program work? What buttons do you push? Why are you measuring with the tape measure? And then I learned, what they were doing, squaring up the metal, getting it square so the cut would not fall off the sheet. And so what happened, I did that without getting asked. I did that without getting paid. I would sweep, get my job done, and then help everywhere else. Okay? What happened when the time came, here's a quote I want you to think about before I say that. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than have an opportunity and not be prepared. So the day came that guy that ran that machine had to get a knee replacement. There's one person in that shop other than him that knew how to run the machine, and it was me. Not because someone told me I needed to learn, but I took that initiative and was helping and doing more than I was paid for. So I became the guy that ran that machine. And he moved on as an apprentice welder and became a welder, which is what he wanted to do. So everything worked out like that, okay? But I took that initiative and did more than my job of sweeping. Guys, when I began running the metal, like you set that up, that thing cuts for anywhere from 2 hours to 36 hours of sitting there, watching it and making sure parts don't tip up. And when it broke down, you had to replace the seals in the pump and all that. So, but you just stood there, and I can't just stand there and do nothing and get paid. So I would help the sweepers. I would help the other guys cutting the machine. I would go to the welders, and I would just help wherever I could. But my job, guys, was to get paid to run that machine, and it was okay for me to stand there and watch it cut all day, 8 hours, and do nothing, and listen to music. So I always did more than expected. And what happened, guys, is I noticed. Okay, it cut out. I waited for a minute to make sure you guys are here. So, guys, what I did, I noticed that the welders were the most paid people, the highest paid people in the shop. My job was to cut all the pieces. The engineers dropped the pieces. They went down to the guy that programmed the machines. Then they got sent out to the machine. I ran the machine. So I went in and I was learning I wanted to know how they programmed, it came from them to me, what I was doing. So I understood that process. I asked them how it worked. I asked him if I could learn it. So when I learned it, that guy could take vacation and I could cover that and cut the machine. I went over to the laser, which was a total different system. I learned and asked him how it worked. I helped him load the programs. I helped him load the metal. So I knew how to use it. So when he left, I could run both machines at the same time. But remember, I was paid just to do my job. Okay, but I did all of those things. I saw the welders coming down. We cut all the metal and we just threw them on these rolling carts. And maybe there's 30 jobs going on at a time, and they all had numbers on it, like a work order number.